gear design. Many times we have a design gear or a design gearbox, and to use for particular application, whether it is suitable or not, it is necessary to evaluate that existing design. So that evaluating the existing design is called analysis of that components. Okay, so we will be taking a problem from examination, end semester examination problem itself for helical gear. So we are going to present now. Let me check the attendance. I think 61 have joined. Still few more to join. Please join at the earliest. Okay. So today we are having helical gear design and analysis. Till now we have completed 3 design exercises. So this will be the 4th exercise you are going to learn today. So let's go to the presentation. Let's understand the given problem. This is a problem from university examination. Uh, the problem states that a pair of parallel helical gears. We have learned the type of helical gears, that is parallel helical gear and cross helical gears are there. So when you say parallel helical gears, then helical gears are having right and left hand arrangement, and they are assembled together. The pinion is having 20 teeth with which is meshing with 100 teeth gear. So there is a ratio 100 by 20, that is speed reduction ratio of 5 is maintained there, stage ratio. The pinion rotates at 720 rpm. This is the input shaft speed is given. The normal pressure angle is 20 degree. Alpha n is equal to 20 degree here. And while the helix angle psi is 25 degree. The face width is 40 mm. This is already design gear, so the size of the gears is already knowing. The face width is 40 mm and normal module is 4 mm. So whenever we talk about helical gear, it is always normal module. So the normal module one is 4 mm. The pinion and gear is made up of plain carbon steel. Since it is already manufactured, the material is already fixed with the carbon steel, which possesses ultimate tensile strength of 600 Newton per millimeter square, and heat treated to surface hardness. The heat treatment is given to that gear as well as pinion surface to gain a strength up to 300 bhl. Calculate the power transmitting capacity based on strength and wear. You consider both way and consider service factor as 1.5 and determine how much maximum power can be transmitted without failure. Okay, so it is like that. You have already the gearbox available or gear pair available. Now whether we can use that gearbox for our application, that is the question. Suppose I want to transmit 10 kilowatt and the power rating comes here, say 8 kilowatt, it is not acceptable. So whether it is acceptable or not, first we should analyze existing design, and then we can select that same design or we can change the design. Okay, so whatever the given problem data is there, it is noted here. The given data, we have helical gear here. Input shaft speed N1 is 720 rpm. Number of teeth on pinion are 20. Number of teeth on the gear are 100. Normal pressure angle is 20 degree. Helix angle is 25 degree. Normal module for the helical gear is 4 mm. Face width given is 40 mm. The material is carbon steel material with SUT value 600 Newton per millimeter square and BHN 300, and service factor given in the problem is 1.5. This is the given data. So with respect to this given data, we are going to process and any other data required apart from this data, then only we were referring the PhD data book and selecting appropriate data. If this data is given in the problem and you try to select the same value, BHN value from the data book, then it is wrong. Or same ultimate tensile strength value from BHN, then it is wrong. Whatever data given in the problem, we should use it. And if any additional data is required, then only we have to go for PhD. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so we have here helical gear, pinion, and gear. Number of teeth on helical gear pinion are 20, and number of teeth on the gear are 100. So there is a speed reduction ratio. Let's calculate speed reduction ratio here. So first step, number of stages, stage ratio, number of teeth. Now here it is single stage. Now currently this problem is of single stage ratio. Number of stages are only one here. So transmission ratio you can see input shaft speed upon output shaft speed, which will be related by number of teeth here, that is Z2 by Z1, because it is single stage. So it will be dependent on only on the number of teeth on the pinion and gear. So Z2 by Z1 comes out to be 5. So we have here transmission ratio of 5. And since my number of stages are 1, so we can see my stage ratio is exactly equal to 5. Now for this stage ratio, what is the output shaft speed? Then N2. So that input shaft speed divided by stage ratio. So that comes out to be 144 RPM. That is 720 divided by 5. So we get 144 RPM. So this shaft is rotating at 720 RPM, and the shaft here will rotate at 144 RPM. Okay, so first step, we have done the calculation of transmission ratio, which is given hidden in the tooth values, and we are also calculated the speed output shaft speed here. Next step, since it is already designed, so we are not going to check out the module. Module is known to you. So now we are going to determine the beam step. That is the step 2 is estimation of beam strength using Lewis equation or Lewis equation. Now this Lewis equation we have to use for helical gear. So I have written the Lewis equation for helical gear. That is SB is equal to MNB into sigma B Y. Okay, go step by step. That is what is required here for each step. SB given here is Mn is equal to 4 mm, and B given here is B is equal to 40 mm. That is face width is given in the problem, that is 40 mm. Sigma B, normally when the plain carbon steel materials are there, sigma B or steel materials are there, sigma B is taken as 1/3 of ultimate tensile strength. So this, what is this indicate? 3 indicates. 3 does approximately indicates the factor of safety. That is, normally you can take down this value up to 2, but normally it is preferably selected as 1/3. 3 as a factor of safety or 2.5 as a factor of safety. So from this we get the permissible or maximum permissible bending stress, that is equal to 200 Newton per millimeter square. Since we are checking or analyzing the helical gear, so the Y value here we need to be calculated, and Y value need to be calculated for virtual number of teeth on the pinion. So virtual number of teeth on the pinion, we are calculating Z dash is equal to Z1 upon cos cube psi, where Z1 is the actual number of teeth on the pinion, and this formula is available on PHG 8.1. For your understanding purpose, I am showing this PHG formula from 8 page number. Yeah, this is your. This formula is available from PHG virtual teeth formula on page number 8.1. So this is the virtual teeth formula here. ZV is equal to Z upon cos cube beta. This is for helical and herringbone gear. Both are helical type only. So from this is available on page number 8.1. This reference, that is page number 8.1. So whenever we solve any problem in the assignment or in the examination, we need to cite where from that formula, where from that figure, where from that data, property data is taken as a reference. So when we go back to the presentation again here, you can see here. Yeah. Now, in this presentation, you can see here that this value is referred from PHG 8.1. Take me pointer. This value PHG 8.1. So this formula itself is available from PHG 8.1. Unless you don't mention this, where this formula has come, the other person who is reading, understanding your design or analysis will not come to know. Whether you are following Mahadevan book, whether you are following PhD data book, that is not known. So it is ultimately necessary to mention the citation here. So please always cite where which table, which page number from the PhD you are using in the design calculation or analysis calculation. So from this calculation, we come to know virtual number of teeth are 26.86. Now we need to go for Lewis form factor for virtual teeth. Again, there is a formula y is equal to 0.154 minus 0.912 upon z dash. Now this y formula coming from PHG 8.50. Let's go back to the paper. Now why only this formula? Why not other formula? Let's check. Let's check the formula here. It is on page number 8.50. Let me check the page number 8.50 here. No, this is yeah, I think last second it is in the second. I think it is last one around 23 page number. 8.50 page number. I am just demonstrating so that कहाँ से आया, how to do that calculation, you are familiar here. This is the formula here. This is from page number 8.50. This is from page number 8.50 here. The formula here, y is equal to 0.154 minus 0.912 upon z. There are three involute system, 14.5, 20 degree full depth involute and 20 degree stub teeth. So since we are normally following full depth involute, 20 degree pressure angle is given here. So this formula need to be used. This formula need to be used. And this formula is used in the design calculation for, now this y here, if you see, this is a small y. The capital Y is product of pi into small y. So when we do the calculation here, we get the small y value. We don't get the capital Y value. Z here to be used is your formative teeth, that is virtual number of teeth, ZV. So let's go back to the presentation again. Okay, this because this is the very important steps. If you make mistake in this step, that entire design or analysis calculation is going to become wrong. So from page number 8.50, page number 8.50, we got this formula for 20 degree pressure angle. And in this formula, we have put the value of Z1 and we get small y is equal to 0.12. And since capital Y is equal to pi into y, we get this value as 0.377. So capital Y value. Now putting all these values in this equation, again I have written that equation again here. So 4 into 40 into 200 into 0.377, we get beam strength value, maximum beam strength value as 12068 Newton. So if the value is bigger, we can convert into kilonewton. So this is equal to 12.06 kilonewton. So this is the capacity of this gearbox, which has 12.06 kilonewton value. Okay, so this step is very important, the calculation of small y and capital Y. Even there are standard table available, but since we have virtual number of teeth, this calculation will be in the fraction, and the tables are available for y, capital Y value are of in a ratio. Then again you have to do the interpolation. Instead of doing interpolation, you can refer a formula on page number 8.50. And the table value and calculated value y here and table value for the same number of teeth, you will find small difference there, sir. You will find small difference. Okay, let's go to the next slide. We have calculated beam strength. Now next we are going to calculate the wear strength. So next step is determination of wear strength of the pinion, because it is already designed. So we are checking out the what is the beam strength, what is the wear strength. So we have formula for helical gear. SW is equal to BQ dpk upon square psi. This is the standard formula in the textbook. You have to remember whenever it is analysis, always use standard formula. Then we are calculating DP. From the previous lecture, we know DP is equal to Z Mn or Mn Z upon cos psi. So we have Z is equal to 20 here, M is equal to 40, and psi is equal to 25. So from this, we get diameter of the pinion as 88.27 millimeter. Then ratio factor, this is available from your PhD data table there, 8.14 page में ये formula भी available है, और this formula is simple to remember. It is 2 ZG upon ZG plus ZP, or 2I upon I plus 1. So since I is here 5, so we are putting that value. We get ratio factor here as 1.66. Then load stress factor, sigma c square sin alpha 1 upon E1 plus 1 upon E2 upon 1.4. So this is also available from the PhD data book. We have demonstrated. So I am not repeating the demonstration of this formula where from we have taken. Now let's go to the calculation of sigma c. Sigma c calculation is CB into HB into K1. This formula is available on page number 8.16. So we are going to check that value. Now, since the material is carbon steel material and HB is less than 350, CB value is 25. How this value has come? Let's go and check from the PhD table number 16, page number 8.16. So let's check this value where we have selected. Page number 16, 17, I think. Okay, so on page number 8.16, we have formula for sigma c. Sigma c, this formula is available here. That is CB into HB into KC1. This value comes into kgf per centimeter square. You can convert into Newton per millimeter square by dividing whatever value you are getting here by 10. Just divide by 10 or 9.81, you will get the value in terms of Newton per millimeter square. Now, to get the value of CB in this equation, there is a table 16 here. This is the table 16. Coefficient CB and CR are there. Since the material we are using here are carbon steel, and we are using normalizing and hardening process here, and hardness value for the given problem is less than 350. Our given hardness is 300 Newton per millimeter square. So this is less than 350. So the coefficient of value CB value should be 25. So that's why we selected 25. Then we have to select KC value here, KC1 value, which is on page number 17. KC1 value life factor from table 17. So it is on the next page. Here, this is the KC1 value, table for KC1. So there is a formula for KC1, but that depends upon number of cycles. If your number of cycles are greater than 10 raised to 7, and if your hardness is less than 350, KC factor is 1. If you are selecting, if you have been asked to design for a particular number of cycles, if they are stated, or your client wants minimum this much cycles your gear has to complete, then you have to select the number of cycles, and then you can calculate by this formula what is KC1 factor, that is life factor. So that life factor can be calculated for if your SB is less than this, and if HB is greater than that, this formulas will be used, and KC1 will be selected as 0.585. Since my value of hardness is less than 350, so we are selecting KC1 factor as 1. So this value will be taken into the presentation again. Okay, so in the presentation, we find out CB is taken as 25, or in the problem solving here. Considering life, I am saying greater than 10 raised to 7 cycles, we have taken KC1 is equal to 1, which is coming from table number 17. So these table values are very important, and you have to cite this value. Citing this value is very important. If you don't cite this value, and if you take 25 and 1, you will get the marks, but you will not get the full marks. Citation is mandatory in the design problem. Okay, so from this we calculate sigma c value, which comes out to be, first value we get in kJ per centimeter square, we convert into Newton per millimeter square, that comes as 750 Newton per millimeter square. And from that we can calculate now K, by putting the values of sigma c and other. Sigma c is equal to 750. Your alpha is equal to 20. Then this value is also available from table. This value is available from PAG table 9. Already I demonstrated in previous lecture, so I am not repeating. On page number 8.14, you can refer table 9, and from table 9, you get the modulus of elasticity for different materials. So this value is in kgf per centimeter square, 10 raised to 6, 2.15 into 10 raised to 6, converted into Newton per millimeter square, so 2.15 into 10 raised to 5. And then from this calculation, we come to know the load stress factor is 1.2783. Now using this relation, we are putting the value 40 into 1.66 into 88.27 into 1.2783 upon cos 25 squared. We get the value in Newton here now, 9121.4 Newton. So you can convert into kilonewton, so 9.12. So this way we have evaluated two strength. One is beam strength, another is wear strength. So we are comparing the strength and finding out what is the power we can transmit, minimum power or maximum power we can transmit. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. So next slide talks about the effective load calculation. So since we have given service factor here, so I am going for effective load calculation. Method used here is velocity factor method. Okay. So what is given data? First write down that data. So we have service factor CS is equal to 1.5, which is given in the problem. Then pitch line velocity here is small v, that is pi d1 n1 upon 60,000. If we put the value of d1 here is 82.27, RPM given is 720, we get the pitch line velocity between these two gear pair is 3.32 meter per second. Then we are considering commercially cut gears. There are three types: commercially cut gears. Then we have carefully cut gears, and we have professionally cut gears. And this formula, where this formula coming? Again, this formula I have demonstrated. This formula comes from PHG. Page numbers are given there. So from that formula, we have 3 pi. You can cite here. You can refer where from this formula, and you can cite here PHG page number or table number here. So CV in the textbook. In the textbook, this formula exactly given opposite 3 upon 3 plus V. But while using in the formula, then it is CS upon CV. Since here it is given 3 plus V upon 3, so here it is CS into CV. So we get this value of CV as 3, that is velocity factor as, this is also called as velocity factor or dynamic factor. So which is coming as 2.10 here. So from this, we can write down P effective formula, that is CS into CV into PT. So CS is 1.5, CV here is 2.1, and PT is unknown here. So we get 3.15 PT. P effective will be 3.15 PT. Now, safe working of gears, following both conditions need to be satisfied. Both conditions need to be satisfied. First condition, what is the first condition? P effective should be less than SB. And now, if you take the SB value is 12608 Newton. So my effective load here should be less than 12608 for safe working, as well as another condition, P effective should be less than SW, that is P effective should be less than your wear strength. So wear strength we have calculated, that is 9121.4 Newton. So from these two observations, what we should conclude, my value cannot be greater than, P effective value cannot be greater than 9121 for safe working. If I take P effective 12608, then my gear pair will fail in wear, because this wear strength value is smaller for gear. So this value need to be used for the design. So considering the minimum strength value out of these two is wear strength value. So P effective is equal to this formula, P effective 3.15 PT should be equated to this value, because this is less than equal to sign. So I am using the limiting condition that is equal to, that is 9121.4 Newton. So from this, you can calculate PT value that comes out to be as 2895.68 Newton. So this is your tangential load acting on the pinion as well as gear at the pitch point. Now from this, you can calculate torque and maximum torque which can be transmitted without failing. So PT into D1 by 2 is the formula. MT into PT into D1 by 2. So PT is known. D1 is also known. So PT, we are getting this value as 127,800 Newton millimeter. So this is the maximum torque which can be transmitted by your gear pair. So from that we can calculate maximum power that can be transmitted. You know the power formula in kilowatt. Power formula in kilowatt is equal to 2 pi NT upon 60 into 10 raised to 6. So here the formula is 2 pi N1 MT upon 60 into 10 raised to 6. So by putting these values of MT here and speed here, we come to know this calculation comes out to be 9.63 kilowatt. आपको सिंस इट इज किलोवाट डायरेक्ट, ये फॉर्मूला डायरेक्ट किलोवाट देता है, तो ये जो आंसर आएगा डायरेक्टली यू विल गेट दिस आंसर ऑफ पावर व्हिच कैन बी ट्रांसमिटेड, maximum power that can be transmitted by this gear pair is 9.63 kilowatt. Now we come to know, now you may seem that we have solved problem, means I can use this gear for 9.63, but it is not only the maximum power you have to check, we have to check whether by using this load, whether my gearbox will be safe under contact stress or dynamic load or any other condition. So next step is to checking now. So we can say maximum 9.63 is possible, but whether it is taking care of contact stresses or not. So next slide, we are going to check that. Okay, so we are checking now contact stresses here, how much maximum contact stresses you can transmit here. Now, if you see here, formula for sigma C, which is available from 8.13. Let's go to the 8.13 page here and check out the same formula, whether we are using different formula. .13, which is in the part 1 here. .13. So this is the formula we are checking. So when we are designing, we are using this formula. When we are checking the spur gear for beam strength, so we are using this formula. Since we are checking for contact stress का formula ऊपर है दूसरे पेज पे, yeah, here we are checking for contact stress. So sigma C, this formula is here. Sigma C is equal to 0.74 I plus minus 1 upon A is the central distance, square root of I plus minus 1 upon IB into E value for the material, and design torque should be less than the maximum permissible sigma C value here. It should be less than maximum permissible sigma C value here. So by taking this formula, we are going back to the presentation, which is on page number 8.13 or 8.12. 8.12. This formula we are calculating now A here, since A or A1 here. So we have got A1 here as Mn into Z1 upon Z2 upon 2 cos psi. Now this, since it is helical gear, the formula will be like this. So we get this value as 264.81 millimeter. Z1 20 है, Z2 100 है, और psi value is 25. So we get 264.81. I का वैल्यू नोन है 5 है, B का वैल्यू गिवन है प्रॉब्लम में 40 mm, E का वैल्यू वो पेज नंबर 8.14 में मिलता है, यू कैन 8.15 पेज पे मिलता है E का वैल्यू 2.15 into 10⁵ न्यूटन पर मिलीमीटर स्क्वायर है. आपका डिजाइन टॉर्क वैल्यू 127,800 अभी अभी हमने प्रीवियस स्लाइड में कैलकुलेट किया है in the design, that is coming as 127,800 Newton millimeter. It is in millimeter. Now this formula we are putting in the equation here. This equation में वो formula डाल दिया, values डाल दिया. So we get induced stress value, sigma C value is 455.36 Newton per millimeter square. Now this value is less than your design stress value. Yes, this value is less than design stress value. What is your design stress value? Design stress value आप वो फॉर्मूला में जाकर चेक करेंगे. तो डिजाइन स्ट्रेस वैल्यू सिग्मा से हमने कैलकुलेट किया है. आई थिंक इट इज कैलकुलेटेड अर्लियर. here. Yeah, here we have calculated that value, sigma C, and that value comes out to be, you can see here. Here, this value, my design value of sigma C, when we are calculated, it has come as 750 Newton per millimeter. So this is the maximum permissible value. So we are going for calculation. So after calculation for sigma C, we get this value as 455.36 Newton per millimeter square. So this is your induced value. Permissible value is 750. So induced value is less than permissible value. So the design or existing pair available can be considered to be used. So it is safe against the contact stresses. Similarly, you can now check, since you know the load value, you can check for dynamic load also further. So we are checking for dynamic load calculation by using Buckingham method. So for checking this formula, we have this formula, and this formula is available from PHG 8.51. So now this formula is different than the whatever formula we have used for spur gear. You can see the changes in the equation here. I'm going to show that formula where it has come. So you can refer from that table there, 8.52. It is, I think, on the page number, last page number here. Yes. Yeah, this is the formula. We are going for helical gear. So we are using helical gear formula, Buckingham dynamic load formula here. Yeah, this is the formula. The FD is equal to FT, this formula. So you can see this term, VM means your pitch line velocity here. C, your deformation factor. B is your phase width. Beta here is their helix angle. We are used psi as a helix angle. So accordingly, we have changed that formula like that. FT is your tangential load. We are writing there as a PT. So by using this formula, you can calculate the Buckingham dynamic load. So we are going back to again to our presentation. So we'll start with current presentation. So this formula we have used, FD is equal to FT. Now V की जगह V लिया है, बीटा की जगह हमने psi लिया है. बस that is the only change, but formula remains same. So which is available from page number 8.51. So FT value already known है, you have previously calculated. So just I have written the formula, but this value is already calculated. So we are using that value. This value is also already calculated in previous slide. So 3.32 meter per second. Again, we are considering commercially cut gears, and we need this error factor. So C value is equal to 11860 E. This is coming from certain table. So this, for that you have to refer two tables, table number 41 and 42 from PHG 8.53. So how this value is coming? Let's go back and check how this calculation of C comes as 593. Let's go and check there. This is from page number 8.53. See, on page number 8.53, there are two tables, table number 41 and 42. We are calculating the value of C for the dynamic load. Since our tooths are 20-degree pull depth and pinion and gear material are steel and steel, both the materials are same. So we are using these two materials here. So in these two materials, we are getting this value as 11860 into E, where E is the tooth profile error. So tooth profile error given in the table number 42. Since my module is 4, so I have to refer this value. Again, there are three types of gear cutting mechanisms, means precision gears, carefully cut gears, and commercially cut gears. Since we have considered this analysis for commercially cut gears, so we are going for this error value of 0.05 millimeter. So you can multiply here and you can get the value of C. So that same calculation we have done in the slide. So let's go back to the slide again. Okay, so by taking that value of E as 0.05 from the table 41 and 42, we can calculate C value is equal to 593. ये calculation 593 आता है. Now we are putting all these values in this above equation. So you can see here we have put the value of Ft, we have put the value of velocity, we have put the value of C, we have put the value of B here, and angle psi angle 25 here. So by doing this calculation, you get the value of dynamic load value as 2944.60. Now you are designed to be safe. Your dynamic load has to be lesser than the dynamic load has to be lesser than your beam strength value as well as wear strength value. It means that your SB value for your gear and SW value for your gear pair should be greater than the dynamic load value. This value is around 12 kilonewton. This value is around 9 kilonewton, and your FD value is just around 3 kilonewton. So considering this fact, your design is safe under dynamic load. So this tells that your design is safe, and you can use this pair for any design or any accessory you want to connect, you can connect. Now, this is not a design problem. This is an analysis problem. So let's understand analysis problem is why we are using analysis problem, why are not using separate design. Many times what happens, you have already a machinery available in the your workshop or in your setup. And sometimes there is a change in the loading condition, or there is a batch has changed. Production rate need to be improved. So you have an existing machine with certain power rating, that you have existing gearbox on that machine. And to improve the productivity, you may say that we want to change this input speed from say 800 RPM was their motor. जो पहले वाला मोटर था 5 किलोवाट का मोटर था या 5 एचपी का था, चलो हम 7.5 एचपी का मोटर लगा के प्रोडक्शन रेट बढ़ाते हैं. नो, यू कैन नॉट डू डायरेक्टली लाइक दैट. First, whatever gearbox you are having, first analyze whether that gearbox, after working for maybe 4-5 years, whether it has a strength, sufficient strength, so that it can take higher load as well as it can transmit higher power. So you need to do analysis so that you can save on the cost of replacement of your gear. Just you can replace the motor and you can carry out. Many applications you may have the your machine is very old, and that time the motor available or engine available having particular capacity was connected to that machine. Now that machine has become absolute, means that engine is not working, or your motor is not working. But in the market, the similar engine is not available or similar motor is not available. Motor is either available of lower capacity or higher capacity. If you use lower capacity, then you will lose the productivity. If you use higher capacity, there is a chances your gearbox may fail. So it is necessary to analyze your gearbox. It is necessary to analyze your gearbox. So to analyze that gearbox, we need to go back to your design again. So I'm stopping the presentation. So I'm discussing. So in such case, we need to analyze, you need to analyze that gearbox, whether it can carry, instead of 5 HP, it can transmit 7.5 HP, and which we may benefit in just buying your motor, maybe making small changes for mounting, and by using that additional power, you are not failing your gear, but you are improving your productivity and your purpose is served. So such analysis are normally done in the maintenance, as well as the reorganizing the layout, reorganizing the product layout, and you require higher capacity machine and you are having existing lower capacity machine. So by reinforcing that existing machine, can we make it higher productive machine by using higher capacity motors or higher capacity gearboxes? So in such cases, analysis is very important, and analysis component is quite difficult than design. Let me tell, design is simple many times, but analysis is complicated, because for analysis, you need to know how the design is done, and then only you can do the analysis. So normally the analysis is done by very means experienced in, engineers or experienced designers or experienced analyzers, and then they will give the diagnostic that whether you can go for this or you can go for this with some modification. Means what, you find out that the surface you use the gear, they are weared out, and there is a surface treatment possible, that you have a 300 BHN stress value. For the same material, by further doing heat treatment, you can improve the hardness values to say 340 Newton per millimeter square, and which may bring out good result. So you can simply take out the gear, go to the heat treatment, and improve the strength by normalizing. First normalize, means temper it, again go for heat treatment and improve the heat treatment value from 300 BHN to 340 BHN, and then you can use the same gear into the application. So this analysis requires lot of knowledge, and many times you some of the problems are asked in the analysis where the existing design is given, you have been asked to do the analysis. So design is simple, actually design जो भी आप बनाएंगे वो acceptable रहता है, लेकिन analysis है existing है उसको कैसे use करना है. Okay, so this is regarding the analysis of our design. If you have any query, you can ask the doubts. There are 80 students now.
Hello.
If you have doubt, you can ask the doubt.
Hello. Hello.
I am hearing your sound. Please talk.
सर अगर हमें सिग्मा सी क्वेश्चन में दिया रहेगा तो फिर हमें निकालने की मतलब वो जरूरत नहीं है ना. हेलो.
Repeat your question.
सर अगर कांटेक्ट रेशियो हमें निकालना रहता है फिर कंपेयर करने का, अगर सिग्मा सी लेस आया तो अपना डिज़ाइन सेफ है. तो अगर सिग्मा सी हमने आपने जो प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाया उसमें निकाला है, अगर हमें क्वेश्चन में ऑलरेडी दिया रहेगा तो हमें मतलब ऐसा निकालने की मतलब जरूरत नहीं है ना सिग्मा सी. डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट रेशियो निकाल के उसमें ऐसे कंपेयर करके डिज़ाइन सेफ बता सकते हैं ना, और फेल.
Normally, sigma c value is not given in the problem. If it is given in the problem, it's okay. There is no need to do the calculation. But if it is not given in the problem, you have to do the calculation.
अगर सर हम लोग को डायरेक्ट अगर मटेरियल बोला रहेगा कि मतलब मटेरियल सिलेक्ट करो तो वहाँ से भी हम लोग सिग्मा सी ले सकते हैं ना, डिवाइड बाय फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी, तो उससे भी कंपेयर कर सकते हैं.
There is a separate factor of safety table. From that table, you have to refer the then factor of safety. Any other question? Okay. For submitting your assignment 1, please follow the citation methodology. Wherever you are using formula from PHG, you are using data from PHG, mention the PHG and the table number, PHG page number, and wherever the table is value is there, table number, and mention the word कि carefully cut gear के लिए हम use कर रहे हैं. So 20-degree pressure angle के लिए ये है. Then your solution becomes complete solution. And submit your assignment before due date, because it is online submission, it cannot be extended. Okay, we will stop here.